My name is Donadelia Malileke. I am here at the summit, but I'm representing the South African Consulate General in Chicago. There's an easiest way to that. I always give an example about myself. I'm a rural child who all I had was access to education. And once you educate a child, any child, an African child, a European child, an American child, you give that child a responsibility and a level of self-dignity. And so they will know what they're worth. They would know they're worth $1 million house, and they would have to go work for it instead of tarnishing their reputation, getting the money otherwise, because they have built on it, they've invested something in it such that they would not be easily shaken. And that for me is essential. So instead of, yes, and I always give this example, every government has a defense department. Who are we all defending if we are not going to instigate a war? If we are not feeding an African child, an American child, a Japanese child? And it goes back to those basics before we can build bigger economies. What are we doing in our own communities? Are we educating our children? Are we getting them exposed to the right things? Or are we just gonna play victim if you're black, or you're gonna play superior if you're white? And those are the base. That's where we start. And for me, education is key. How we see ourselves, how we want to see ourselves, becomes more prevalent and more focused. Then you don't need to have someone else holding your hand, because you can walk the road.
My name is Frederick Odame from Ghana. I've lived here for 10 years now, and I work for PNC Bank. I'm a bank manager, a banker, and I'm here today to be part of the conversation and talk about education and make sure that people here know about Africa and they can participate in African businesses. So I'm happy to be here and contribute.
Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Okay, so we spoke about education. How do you feel like education will impact a growing relationship between the United States, and not only just education as far as people being educated, but being educated about both places? How do you feel that will spark partnership between you?
I think education is a foundation for every country, every household, every man. You need education to participate in democracy. You need education to have a good paying job. Most people don't know that Africa now is a growing continent, the most growing continent in the world. Okay, so understanding that mindset can bridge the gap between the continent of Africa and the West, or maybe in United States. If I just came back home from Ghana, where I went to my village. The village I was born at is very remote. I didn't learn how to read and write till the age of 14. But when I went back home and saw the way everybody was being educated about democracy, being educated about policies and issues that shape the government, I was really impressed. So education is the key for every generation. Education is key for young people to be part of their political system, to understand really what issues affect their lives. So to go back to your question, without education, Africa will not understand America. Americans will not understand the global system, and America will not understand Africa as well.